Hello everyone, I am Deep Patel from the Department of Mechanical Engineering. As you all know, in the last lecture, we have started our new chapter, chapter number 5, that is the heat engine. And in the last lecture, we have discussed about the three important topics of the heat engine. First, we have introduced the heat engine. Second, we have discussed about the Carnot cycle. And third, we have discussed about the Rankine cycle. In the heat engine, we have discussed that to operate the heat engine, the source and sink is required. Source will supply the heat to the heat engine and sink will gain the heat from the heat engine. And after that, work is delivered by the heat engine, that is equals to heat supplied minus heat rejected. Okay. So in today's lecture, we will discuss about the two cycles. First is the Otto cycle and second is the diesel cycle. So Otto cycle is useful for the petrol engines and the diesel cycle is useful for the diesel engine. So today we are going to discuss about these two cycles. Okay, so let us start with the Otto cycle. So first of all, Otto cycle was invented by the Nicholas Otto in 1876. Okay, sometimes this Otto cycle is also known as the constant volume cycle. Why it is known as constant volume cycle, that we will discuss later. Okay, but at this time you have to remember that the Otto cycle is also known as constant volume cycle. Okay, now let us discuss about the assumptions taken by the Otto. So the first assumption was the working fluid is air. Okay, second assumption was all the processes in the cycle are reversible. Now what is the meaning of reversible cycle and irreversible cycle, that we have discussed in our previous lecture. So simply reversible means the cycle in which friction loss is 0. Okay, or the process in which the friction loss is 0 is known as the reversible process. Okay, so here Otto has assumed that all the processes which will be included in this cycle are reversible processes. Okay. Third, the air behaves like an ideal gas. So here he has used working fluid as a air, and air will be considered as the ideal gas. Okay. Fourth, the mass of the working substance will remain constant. Here working substance is air, so the mass of the air will remain constant throughout the cycle. Okay. Fifth, the heat supplied from the constant high temperature heat reservoir, and that we have already discussed in our previous lecture, that the temperature of the reservoir will remain constant. Okay, so we can say that the temperature of source, that is the high energy reservoir, in which the temperature will be very high, so the temperature of source will remain constant and the temperature of sink will remain constant. Okay, so these are the 5 assumptions taken by the Otto. Okay. Now let us discuss about the cycle. So in the Otto cycle, mainly there are total 4 processes. So in the 1 to 2 process, you can easily understand that the volume is decreased, and because of decreasement in the volume, we can say that it is the compression process. Now you can also see here, during this 1 to 2 compression process, no heat transfer is taking place. So we can say that 1 to 2 is the adiabatic compression process. Next, process 2 to 3. So in the process 2 to 3, heat is supplied, and also you can see from this PV diagram that the heat is supplied at constant volume. So we can say that it is the constant volume heat addition process. Now third process is process number 3 to 4. So in the process number 3 to 4, again no heat transfer is taking place, also the volume is increased, so we can say that it is the expansion process. So we can say that process number 3 to 4 is adiabatic expansion process. Next is the process number 4 to 1. Again you can see from this diagram that the process number 4 to 1 is a constant volume process. Here you can see from this vertical line that the volume remains constant, and during which the heat is rejected from the system. So we can say that during the process 4 to 1 heat is rejected and it is at the constant volume. So we can say that process number 4 to 1 is constant volume heat rejection process. Okay. So this is what all about the 4 processes of the cycle. So here we can write that in the Otto cycle mainly there are 4 processes. Process number 1 to 2 adiabatic compression process, process number 2 to 3 constant volume heat supplied process, process number 3 to 4 adiabatic expansion process, and process number 4 to 1 constant volume heat rejection process. Okay, so these are the main 4 processes. Now let us discuss about the efficiency of the Otto cycle. Okay. So here you can write heat supplied during the process 2 to 3. So we can write heat supplied Qs is equals to mCv T3 minus T2. Why mCv T3 minus T2? Because here heat is supplied at constant volume process, and we know for the constant volume heat supplied equation is mCv delta T, and the process is 2 to 3, so we can write delta T as T3 minus T2. So finally we can write mCv T3 minus T2. Okay. Next process is heat rejection process. Now heat is rejected in process 4 to 1 and it is at constant volume. So again we can write the heat rejected is equals to mCv delta T. Delta T means the temperature difference between the process. Okay. So we can write here mCv T4 minus T1. Okay, so heat is rejected mCv T4 minus T1 and heat is supplied mCv T3 minus T2. Okay. Now next is the net work done. So the work done is equals to heat supplied minus heat rejected. Okay, and we know both the equation of heat supplied and heat rejected. Okay, so from this we can find the net work done. Okay. So we know the air standard efficiency is equals to work done divided by heat supplied. Okay, so here we can write that Qs, that is the heat supplied minus heat rejected upon heat supplied. Okay, so finally we can write 1 minus Qr upon Qs. Now we know both the equation of heat rejected and heat supplied. So we can write 1 minus mCv T4 minus T1, that is the heat rejected, and upon mCv T3 minus T2, that is the heat supplied. M is constant, so we can cut it out, and CV is same, so we can cut it. So finally the equation will become 1 minus T4 minus T1 upon T3 minus T2. Okay. Now for the process number 1 to 2, if we understand process number 1 to 2 is the adiabatic compression process. So for the adiabatic compression process, we can write PVT relation, and if we write the relation between the temperature and volume, then we can write it as a T2 by T1 is equals to V1 by V2 raised to gamma minus 1. Okay, and now we know that the V1 by V2 is the compression ratio, so finally we can write V1 by V2 as a small r. Okay, so we can write T2 by T1 is equals to r raised to gamma minus 1. So we can finally write T1 is equals to T2 by r raised to gamma minus 1. This is our equation number 2. Next is the process 3 to 4. We know the process number 3 to 4 is the adiabatic expansion process. So again for the adiabatic process, we can write the relation between the temperature and volume. That is the T3 by T4 is equals to V4 by V3 raised to gamma minus 1. And we know the V4 by V3 is the compression ratio R. So here you can write T3 by T4 is equals to R raised to gamma minus 1. Okay. So finally we can write T4 is equals to T3 by R raised to gamma minus 1, and we can put this as the equation number 3. Okay. Now we are going to put the value of equation number 2 and equation number 3 into equation number 1. So what we are getting, efficiency is equals to T3 by R raised to gamma minus 1 minus T2 by R raised to gamma minus 1 upon T3 minus T2. Okay, so finally T3 minus T2 is equals to common, so we can cut it. So our final equation will become 1 minus 1 upon r raised to gamma minus 1. Okay, so this is the final equation of efficiency of Otto cycle. So we can say that here the efficiency of Otto cycle is depends on compression ratio only. Compression ratio, that is the small r. Here gamma is the adiabatic index, and for the air the value of adiabatic index is 1.4. Generally, the value of this compression ratio for the Otto cycle is varies between the 6 to 10. Okay, so this you should have to remember. So this is the final equation of the efficiency of Otto cycle, as efficiency is equals to 1 minus 1 upon r raised to gamma minus 1. Okay, so this is what all about the Otto cycle. Next, we are going to discuss about the diesel cycle. All the diesel engines are work on this cycle, that is the diesel cycle. Okay, so that was invented by the Rudolf Diesel, and it is also known as the constant pressure cycle. Okay, so the ideal diesel cycle is consist of total 4 processes. First process is process number 1 to 2, that is adiabatic compression process. Second process 2 to 3, that is constant pressure heat addition process. Process number 3 to 4, that is adiabatic expansion process, and process number 4 to 1, that is constant volume heat rejection process. Okay, so let us understand all the process from this cycle. So this is the typical PV diagram of the diesel cycle. So here you can easily understand in the process number 1 to 2, what happens. In the process number 1 to 2, there is decrease in the volume. So we can say that it is a compression process, and here during the process number 1 to 2, no heat transfer is taking place. So we can say that it is the adiabatic compression process. Okay. Next, during the process 2 to 3, heat is supplied, and the process 2 to 3 is constant pressure process. You can see from this diagram that P2 equals to P3. So you can write it is as a constant pressure process. So you can say that here the heat addition is taking place at constant pressure. That's why we call diesel cycle is as a constant pressure process. Otto cycle was called as a constant volume process. Why? Because in the Otto cycle the heat was supplied at constant volume. So we say that the Otto cycle is constant volume cycle. At the diesel cycle, heat is supplied at constant pressure. So we call diesel cycle as a constant pressure process. Okay, so this is the difference between these two processes. Okay. Then next is the process number 3 to 4. In the process number 3 to 4, again it is the expansion process, and during this expansion no heat transfer is taking place. So we can say that it is the adiabatic expansion process. Okay. Now process number 4 to 1. During the process 4 to 1, again volume is remains constant. You can see from the diagram that the volume is remains constant. So we can write it as a V4 equals to V1, and during this the heat is rejected from the system. So we can write it is as a constant volume heat rejection process. Okay, so this is what all about all the 4 processes of the diesel cycle. Okay. Now let us talk about the efficiency of diesel cycle. So for the efficiency, first of all you have to write heat supplied and heat rejected. So first of all, heat supplied. Heat supplied it at constant pressure. So we can write heat supplied at constant pressure is equals to mCp delta T, and heat is supplied in process 2 to 3. So we can write mCp T3 minus T2. Okay. Next is heat is rejected. So heat rejection equals to mCv T4 minus T1, because heat is rejected at constant volume process, and constant volume, that is the process number 4 to 1. So we can write here mCv T4 minus T1. Net work done is equals to W, that is equals to heat supplied minus heat rejected. Okay. Now we can write efficiency of diesel cycle is equals to eta is equals to work done divided by heat supplied. So we can write Qs minus Qr upon Qs. So 1 minus Q rejected upon Q supply. So we can write 1 minus mCv delta T, that is the T4 minus T1, that is the heat rejected during this process, upon mCp T3 minus T2, that is the heat supplied. So here m is common, so we can cut it out. Now we know that the Cp by Cv is equals to gamma is equals to adiabatic index. Okay, so here we can put Cp by Cv is equals to gamma. So we can write 1 minus 1 upon gamma into T4 minus T1 upon T3 minus T2. Okay. So for the process number 1 to 2, we know the process number 1 to 2 is adiabatic compression process. So we can write T2 by T1 is equals to V1 by V2 is to gamma minus 1, and V1 by V2 is the compression ratio R. So we can write R is to gamma minus 1. So here you can finally write the equation as T2 equals to T1 into R is to gamma minus 1. Okay. Now for the second process, process number 2 to 3. Process number 2 to 3 is the heat addition process, and during the heat addition we can write PVT relation as T3 by T2 is equals to V3 by V2, and V3 by V2 is known as the cutoff ratio, and the cutoff ratio is denoted by the rho. So we can write T3 by T2 is equals to V3 by V2 is equals to rho, and rho is the cutoff ratio. Okay. So finally we can write T3 equals to T2 into rho. Okay. Now our third process is process number 3 to 4, and we know 3 to 4 is adiabatic process. So for the adiabatic process we can write temperature and volume relation as T4 by T3 is equals to V3 by V4 raised to gamma minus 1, and V3 by V4 is equals to cutoff ratio divided by the compression ratio. So we can write cutoff ratio as a rho and compression ratio as R. So we can write rho by R raised to gamma minus 1. Okay, so final equation is T4 equals to T3 into rho by R raised to gamma minus 1. So finally we can write T4 is equals to rho raised to gamma into T1. So now we can put the value of T2, T3 and T4 in the equation. Then we can write efficiency is equals to 1 minus 1 upon gamma. So we can replace T2, T3 and T4 as T1 into rho raised to gamma minus T1 upon T1 into rho into R raised to gamma minus 1 minus T1 into R raised to gamma minus 1. Okay, so here T1 is common, so we can cut it out. So our final equation will become 1 minus 1 upon R raised to gamma minus 1 into rho raised to gamma minus 1 upon gamma into rho minus 1. So this is the final equation of efficiency of diesel cycle. So from this equation you can easily understand that the efficiency of diesel cycle is depends on two parameters. First is the compression ratio and second is the cutoff ratio. Okay, so if we compare this equation with the Otto cycle, the efficiency of Otto cycle was 1 minus 1 upon R raised to gamma minus 1. So we had called the efficiency of Otto cycle is depends on compression ratio only. Okay, but the efficiency of diesel cycle is depends on two parameters. First is the compression ratio and second is the cutoff ratio. Okay, generally the compression ratio of the diesel cycle is varies between the 16 to 25, and the compression ratio of the Otto cycle is vary between the 6 to 10. Okay, so this is the basic difference between the Otto cycle and the diesel cycle. Okay, so in this lecture we have discussed two cycle. First is the Otto cycle and second is the diesel cycle. Okay, so thank you for today.